Well, hey there, gang. Hey there, gang. Jim Jacobus. Welcome to In the Sales Arena. No holds barred coaching session for May. Really looking forward to our time together today. We're talking about one of my favorite subjects. It's all about mindset. It's about how we think and how we look at sales and everything. So I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys. We got 5 new members just yesterday, and I just can't tell you how cool that is. That is, we're having a lot of fun and things are going really well. So thank you so much for all that you do to help make this work for us. Looking forward to our conversation today. A couple of things we're going to talk about that I think are really important when it comes to primary mindset. But at the end of the day, this is really your session. So if you have any questions, you guys know how to use the little question box there. If not, you can practice a little bit. Just type in there, tell me what you want to ask or what you want to know, and we'll go from there. I was listening to a new audio book this morning, doing some research for one of my new consulting clients, and I heard this quote, and it absolutely just grabbed my attention. I thought it was so cool. So you guys know I love to share quotes and everything. This one says, "Push yourself to your limits to make peace with your limits and lead every day with no regrets." I just loved that quote. It comes from Gary Keller Williams Real Estate, in the book Million Dollar Real Estate Agent. And like I said, I just love great quotes, and I really enjoyed this one. I think that is so true. And I will tell you that this may or may not be more than you want to know, but I play a lot of racquetball, and about 7 or 8 weeks ago, I hurt myself. I detached the area where my glutes and hamstrings attached to the hip, and it was really sore and painful. And so I've been out of commission now for about 5 weeks. It took me a couple weeks to figure out I need to stop playing. So I've been out of commission for about 5 weeks. But what I decided to do during those 5 weeks was a couple of things. One is lose weight, and I've lost about 10 pounds by just making a decision to eat better, and we're having fun with that. Really excited about the results there. Second thing was to go to PT. I was going to kind of do it on my own, but the guys that did the physical therapy for me whenever I had my knee replaced were so helpful in helping me gauge where I was at. I thought they would be very valuable there, so we did that. Then I went back to working out with a personal trainer, a friend of mine who I used to work out with for probably about 3 or 4 years, and just really enjoyed it. Learned a lot about learning how to keep myself in shape and do the things I need to do. Well, we moved away from there, but we're still only about 15, 20 minutes away. So I went back to work out with him starting about 3 weeks ago, again, to take advantage of this time. And this quote, really, as goofy as it sounds, attaches back to that whole thing that I'm doing and working out with my trainer, and that he literally every day pushes me right to the edge. His goal is to get me to say bad words that that I shouldn't be coming out of my mouth and everything. That's his goal. I mean, can you imagine that? That's your goal as a professional, is to make somebody say bad words. But really, his job is to push me to the very limit of what I'm capable of doing. And in doing that, I'm learning what my limitations are, and I realize there's some things I can do, there's some things I cannot do. So there's a physical example of that. But I think in our businesses, that's the deal too. We've got to push ourselves to the very limit. We've got to ask ourselves to do things we're not comfortable with. Make phone calls that we go, I don't want to make that call. I'm scared they're going to tell me no. And I mean, whatever that happens to be, I think that's the benefit of some of this stuff. And so we're going to look at today, what are some of those mindsets that maybe we need to push the limit on. But anyway, like I said, I love this quote. I hope you enjoyed it and everything. This is going to be something I'm going to be using a lot moving forward. If for nobody else, I'm going to be using it for me. So anyway, glad to have you guys on the call. Here's our agenda for today. I'm going to share with you 4 mindsets that top performers share. And I don't know if I left a P off there or if my graphic got in the way. My bad there. And then I'm going to answer any questions you guys may have about top sales performers and how they think. All right, we're going to focus in today on mindset. How do we think? What are the thought processes? And I will tell you, in the workshops that we do in live settings and stuff like that, I love these kinds of conversations more than anything. And I tend to think that folks may get more out of our live workshops when we're talking about thought processes and points of view and attitudes and stuff like that than they may get out of the nuts and bolts stuff. So anyway, I'm looking forward to these things. And we're going to start off here. Here's a brief kind of remember what we talked about last week, which is the belief continuum, which I think is really important for us to keep in mind as we talk about mindset. We have core beliefs. They create thoughts. Thoughts create actions. Actions create habits. Habits create performance. And our performance creates our character. And all of that adds up to what our legacy is. So we're going to challenge some belief systems. And here's again, this is not the number 1 out of 4. It's just the first one. Here's a mindset top performers have. SW, 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 who's next? All right? That means some will, some won't, so what, who's next? And again, please don't misunderstand this. I realized a few years ago when I started teaching this, I needed to be careful about making sure that I wasn't giving the wrong impression here. This is not that top performers don't care. All right. They obviously care. They wouldn't be very good at what they do. This is sometimes people will do what they're supposed to. Sometimes they won't do what they're supposed to. So what? Who's next in line? All right. They've got so much going on that if they drop one ball or one appointment doesn't work out or one customer doesn't buy or a contract doesn't go through, anything goes wrong, they've got so much going on that it's okay, on to the next one. They'll do some kind of post-mortem on it if it doesn't work out, but they're just moving on. And average and below average performers, I love to share kind of this thinking about it, and I've been there, by the way. Something goes wrong, they'll spend half a day in a deli somewhere trying to figure out if they're going to go back to work or not. All right, so we want to develop that mindset, some will, some won't, so what, who's next? And that really attaches back to something that we taught last week, we've been teaching all month long, is this whole idea of how important resiliency is. And by the way, all of our webinars this month, all of our podcasts are focusing in on mindset. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, I would encourage you to go do that. You can find it on iTunes by simply searching for In the Sales Arena or Jim Jacobus, or you can go to our website, salesgladiators.com, click on the blog link on the first page, and that'll take you to a resource page where you can click onto the podcast. So I would encourage you to do that. And we've got a lot of stuff in there this month that's about mindset. So I really like the whole idea here of keeping everything in perspective. Now, quick little note, if I just had a big dadgum deal that I was working on worth a whole lot of money or a whole lot of opportunity for me and something went wrong with it, I'm not going to not be disappointed. It's not like I'm oblivious to stuff like that. It's just that I'm going to keep it in perspective, and I like this one here. So any questions you guys might have, let me see what you got going on here. I know we got one question popping up already. Good stuff. Not receiving the slides. Okay. Well, that would be helpful if I click that button right there. How about that? Does that give you the slides, guys? Oh, yeah, I know. Sorry. Every now and then I'll forget to flip on one of the switches or something like that. So my apologies for not getting that to you. Okay. All right, good. Well, let me back up and let you see this Keller Williams slide too. It's a beautiful slide that I put together for you guys, so I want to make sure you see it. Okay, there we go. So there's that slide. Push yourself to the limits to make peace with your limits and lead every day with no regrets, from Gary Keller. Our agenda is we're going to discuss 4 mindsets top performers share. Then I'm going to answer any questions you guys have about how top performers think. All right? And our belief continuum is core beliefs, thoughts, actions, habits. They create our performance. Our performance creates our character. All right. So now on to the some will, some won't, so what, who's next. Any questions about that, gang? Anything here that, okay. All right. If you have a question, just pop it up there and I'll be glad to answer it. Type it in there. Now, all of a sudden, I am not seeing your questions. Let me figure out where that's at real quick. Let me do a tech check, figure out what's going on. All right, mindset number 2. All right, top sales performers treat their sales efforts like a small business. They are business owners, not employees. This is one of those things that I know that when we teach in our workshops is kind of an aha for people. They see themselves as a sales rep. They see themselves as managing a territory or doing something along that line. We try to get the mindset over to them that the best of the best treat their sales efforts. Whether you're I know we got people on here with Mercedes-Benz that are automotive sales reps, and you guys have a desk. Well, the best automotive sales reps treat that desk like it's a small business, not like they're an employee of the dealership. If we got real estate people on here. If you work for Keller Williams and you're in real estate, rather than seeing yourself as a real estate salesperson, which you can do very well, same thing in the automotive business, you can do very well if you just see yourself as an employee, as a sales rep. But the best of the best in real estate manage that desk that they occupy like it's a small business. All right. If you are in a territory sales rep, I got Axel Nobel guys on here and gals on here. If you're a sales rep and you're running a territory for Axel Nobel, you look at that territory like it's a small business. If you're one of my small business owners on here, entrepreneur, it's even more important for you to really focus in on looking at your business as a small business and doing all kinds of things. I'll share some other ideas here with you. We just did a podcast on that. It'll come out today. You've already got it if you're on iTunes, but it'll come out on our website a little bit later on today about the whole idea there that we want to manage that stuff like a business. Here's the deal. Employees draw lines in the sand. All right. Employees work a certain number of hours. An employee won't do this. An employee doesn't go beyond. Anybody with an employee mindset, a transactional hour-to-hour mindset, which we probably always had at one point in time, they don't do the same thing the owner does. Owners come in early, they stay late, they do whatever has to be done in order to make their business successful. Employees only do what has to be done to keep a job. Does that make sense? And so we want to look at our business, whatever genre you're coming from on the call today, and think about it as a small business owner would. All right, any questions there? Does that make sense to everybody? I hope it does. Do me a favor, raise your hand if that makes sense to you. Okay, all you gotta do is hit the little hand raise button down there. Awesome. All of you multitaskers out there, thank you so much. Okay, good. And by the way, I don't mind you multitasking. I listen to probably 3 different webinars a week, and I do the same thing. So I understand kind of how that works. I appreciate that. All right, so let's look at mindset number 3. All right. My time is my inventory, and I will use it wisely. My time is my inventory, and I will use it wisely. Now, if you're a small business owner and you look like your business as a small business, then you've got to realize your inventory is not your products, it's not your services, it's our time. All right, and I'm going to use that wisely. I'm going to be very careful about how I leverage my time. I want to take advantage of my time, and we want to make decisions based upon that. Now, first thing I want to tell you is I will tell you right off the bat, there is a time and place for everything. Now, I like to ask in our workshops when we're live, is playing golf a good use of my time? And the answer to that is absolutely. If I have worked hard and I've earned the right to do that, and I find a day when I can go play golf, and it will give me a little bit of a opportunity to relax and have some fun, and maybe I don't count. By the way, I don't count playing golf with a client as a rest day. If you're playing golf with a client, you are working as much as you'd be working at any point in time, and you want to stay in work mode, or else you're liable to say or do something that could jeopardize your relationship. I think golf's a great opportunity. I think lunch is a great opportunity to get to know clients, and I use that well. I use it often. I don't know if I use it well, but I use it all the time. But I'm talking about just simply deciding I'm going to take a Friday afternoon off and go play golf. That absolutely can be a great use of my time if that's something that I value and it's a reward I've given myself. Now, it's not a great use of time if I've got deadlines to be met. I've got customers to take care of. I'm not where my numbers need to be. I need to create a new sales page for my website, or I need to send out an email to you guys. No, I can't go play golf whenever I've got those kinds of things stacked up. So think about your time as your inventory, and are you making great use of that time? All right. How about questions out there? Anybody got any questions for us? All right. Any thoughts? That's actually a great question there. What if my boss is intruding on my inventory to have me do things that I don't think make sense? Okay, I know who you are and I know who your boss is. And oh yeah, you wanna record this and say, here's what Jim said. Okay, well, you tell him this is what I said. First thing is, I think as a manager or as a leader or as a sales manager, something like that, we want to make sure that if we're asking our sales reps to do something, and I'm particularly fond of asking this question or sharing this in the form of talking about paperwork. If you're asking a sales rep to fill out a piece of paperwork, you need to be able to show them how it's going to help them grow their business. All right, just having a sales rep fill out a piece of paper because you need it to give to your boss, to give to their boss, to give to their boss, and there's no connection between how that helps a sales rep do a better job. I'm going to tell you this, you're going to get a bunch of junk data from your sales rep. They're not going to give you the data that you need. Now, if you can make that connection, then do so. All right. So if you're asking you to fill out stuff and you feel like it's wasting your time, and by the way, here's a quick little side note. One of the discussions we had when I was working with you guys, the guy who gave me this question, is we think that safety training is a waste of time, folks. I do not agree with that. I have some clients that are safety folks, and I think anything that you invest in safety is not only going to be something that's going to be good for you at work, but it's also going to be good for you at home. And I'll tell you a quick little story, all right? I'm sorry I'm diverting a little bit here, but hopefully the story will make sense to you. I was doing some work with my clients at Exxon, and I work with their safety group out there, and I'm teaching them how to sell their ideas to their bosses, all right? And they were talking about all these safety things, and we had to wear glasses when we were out in the shops and out in the plant and all that kind of stuff. Well, when I came home one day, I was doing something. I was setting a trap for a rat, not a mouse, a trap for a rat. So I've got a big rat trap, and it's those spring-loaded deals. And I was putting peanut butter, which I can tell you they like, to the point of causing their demise, if you will. Sorry if that offends anybody. And I was putting peanut butter on the deal and setting it and all that. And I said, wait a minute, let me put my glasses on. And I put some safety glasses on. And sure enough, the thing went off by accident, didn't catch me, but it threw the peanut butter, literally landed right dead in the middle of my eyeglasses, would have gone right straight in my eye. I don't know what kind of damage it would have done. But so I don't think safety is a waste of time. And we need to be careful about judging whether they're asking us to do something. But let's say it's a total waste of time. And we'll agree on that. Then what you do is you go to your boss and say, look, can you help me understand how this is helping me grow my business? And if the boss says, well, yeah, let me share with you what that does for us. It helps the R&D guys to create better products and yada, yada, yada. Then, oh, okay, I got it. Well, then I'll do a better job of filling it out. If the answer is no, or you can't get a satisfactory answer, here's what I also tell everybody. All right. Your boss asks you for it. It's important. Get it done early. Do it on Monday mornings. Do it as soon as possible. Don't put it off. Don't make it a ball and chain around your neck. Just get it done. So, but the whole idea there is, and I appreciate this, is to be aware that our time is our inventory, and we want to use that time wisely. And that could mean any number of things, but ask yourself, is this the most important thing I can do right now to help me accomplish the goals personally and professionally that I've set for myself? And by the way, if we don't have goals, we don't have any things out in front of us, then it's hard to know whether we're using our time wisely, quite frankly. Tony Robbins said, if you know where you're going, every decision in life is easy because it's either going the way of your goals or it's not going the way of your goals. If we don't have any goals, then there's no way to know whether that thing is helping or taking away from our success. So I think goal setting and having objectives and what have you is very important when it comes to leveraging our time and our inventory. Maybe we can do an entire workshop on goal setting. All right, mindset number 4. We're going to keep tracking down the same line right here. I will invest whatever it takes to grow my business. Now, you guys are already doing that. I feel like I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. You guys are coming to the webinars, and so many of your names that I see up here. We've got 47 people on the webinar today. You guys are coming every week, and I appreciate that. I'm so thankful for that, and you're the folks that we built this website for. So you're investing in your growth. I don't know if you've invested in the Sales Gladiators membership site or not. If you haven't, I hope you at least go take a look at it and think about it so that you can get even more of the stuff that we're doing. But I will invest whatever it takes to grow in my business. And let me tell you a little story here. I was working with a client about 5 years ago, and we were off in one of those conversations about what the company does and doesn't do. And I always entertain those as long as they're productive. I tell people all the time, ask them any question you want. I'll tell you what I think the right answer is. And that's whether I agree with you or agree with the company. I'm going to tell you what I think the right answer is. And the sales rep said, okay, so I got a question for you. We have to buy our own cell phones. We have to pay for our own cell phones. We have to, if we want to use an iPad, we have to pay for those as well. What do you think about that? And my first reaction, and there were sales managers in the room and key decision makers, and I said, well, I think if the company is making you invest in a cell phone and it's a really good tool, I think that's really short-sighted on the part of the company. That's a valuable tool in business today, and I think the company ought to be paying for that. That's my personal point of view. iPad, I don't know. I'd want to know more about how you'd use the iPad, and later on found out that iPad would be a great tool for them, and so I would put that in the category of absolutely, I would do that. But here's the deal. If the company's not paying for it right now, all right, go buy your own dadgum phone. Go buy your own iPad. If you're telling me that is a tool that would help you be more successful in your business, then go buy your own dadgum phone. All right, that's an important piece to you being successful as a sales rep in your territory or whatever, then go buy it. I will tell you, gang, I just got through investing in one of the neatest experiences I've ever had. I don't know if she has an affiliate program. I should have found out first. But I am learning from Janine Blackwell how to create online courses. A lot of what you're seeing here, the next step for us in growing our business will be taking modular pieces of our sales training and creating online courses, if you will, so that you can literally go in and take a 7-week course on, we're actually thinking about the first course being how to get into a meeting and what to do when you're in that meeting. You guys have seen us do a webinar. We're talking about taking it really deep, giving you all of the templates and all of the scripts and the how-tos. And we're talking about some Excel spreadsheets that you could calculate what you make an hour per client. We're going to make this a deep, rich program. So we're heading down that road. And I saw Janine's stuff about 8-9 weeks ago, and I bought her course. It was not cheap. It was expensive. And I just purchased her second course. And by the way, I will tell you this. I don't know if you guys know Janine or not. Some of my friends out there who are in the speaking consulting business, you may know her. I enjoy the course because she's really good at it. And I'm learning how she does what she does because I want to be better at what I'm doing. And then I invested in the course, and I had to go to New Orleans and pay to go over there and pay for the course. And I'm gonna tell you what, it was an awesome experience. I'm so excited. You can probably tell about what we're going to be doing online, not just in our business here, but my wife and I work with pre-marrieds online as well. We have a podcast and everything. I am so excited about that the investment is going to pay for itself 100 or 1,000 times over. I have no doubt about that. And then I invested in the second level course, which, by the way, I learned to have a second level course, and it's a little bit more expensive, quite frankly, a lot more expensive. I invested in that with no second thought about it because it's going to help me grow my business. Now, again, if you're on limited funds out there and your company doesn't pay you very well, be smart about where you're investing your time and your money. I mean, again, I'm going to do another quick little, somebody said, you're not doing enough commercials for your website, Jim. I love your website. You should tell more people about it. You know, the Sales Gladiators website is $14.95 a month. You get a 1 month free. And I tell people all the time, if you only have $14.95 a month, come try it. If you like it, but you don't think it's worth $14.95, shoot me an email. I'll give the dadgum thing to you. I don't need $14.95 that much. But I want you to invest in yourselves. I want you to be willing to invest in growing your business and everything. So whatever we have to do to grow our business, we need to do that. And whatever you're doing in sales out there, if you don't have the tool that you need, send me an email. Tell me what you're looking for. I turned somebody on to Sales Genie yesterday. And Sales Genie is not cheap, but you want to get some very well-defined leads and contact information for people that are your target avatars and everything. Sales Genie is as good as it gets. and they signed up for it and everything. Then they sent me an email later on. Look, based upon what I'm looking at, what you told me I need to invest in Sales Genie is chump change. And so many times we're afraid. We've got this mindset that we make money by cutting expenses. And I'm going to tell you what, gang, I worked with way too many companies out there. We do not grow the bottom line by cutting expenses. Now, we can make the bottom line more efficient by being careful of expenses, but we're not going to grow it by cutting expenses. We grow the bottom line by growing ourselves and putting our tools in place. So that's the fourth mindset that I have for you today. Any questions there? Any thoughts, questions? Give you a little bit of time to type those out. All right, I'm not seeing any questions from you guys there. All right, okay, I'm just going to open it up to you guys. All right, what questions do you have today for us? What thoughts do you have? What conundrums, dilemmas, challenges, questions do you have for us today? Let me take a drink of water here so I don't run out of gas. All right, you guys are eerily silent today. I'm going to give you a few more seconds here to see if anything pops one up. All right. Maybe I should try what we do in workshops. Todd, do you have a question for us today? You can type, nope, I'm good. Oh, Laura, hey, what did you cut in there, Laura? Good job. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start finding something I can give you as an encouragement for a question. Go ahead, Laura, type your question in there. Okay, give you a minute. I'll do that. All right. Todd, go ahead and type your question in there. You're working on one. Thank you. Cool, guys. All right. Claire, how about you? Do you have a question for us today? That's what I'm just going to start calling on people. That's working. I would have never thought to do that in a webinar. All right. When you talk about investing, how do you evaluate what's a good investment versus what isn't? Laura, that's a great question. Let me back up a little bit. We were talking about time as inventory a while ago. I want to make sure I get a good return on investment for my time. All right. And when I talk about getting a good return on the investment for my time, I want to invest it in customers who are ideal customers. We've talked about that a lot lately. I want to invest it in customers who have the potential to be ideal customers. I want to build a book of business dealing with people who are ideal customers, meaning that they're fun, they're collaborative, they're trusting, they'll let me provide solutions to them. Those are the words that I would use to design an ideal customer. Now, that does not mean that they're all big customers. You could be a small customer of mine. You could be a small consulting client of mine and not require a lot of time, but yet let me charge you a reasonable amount so that I get a good return on investment. And I love you. I'm glad to have a customer like that. So it's not about how big they are. It's about how much time do I invest versus what I get back from that. So when I talk about investing in a tool, all right, now let's use Janine Blackwell's course that I just came out of. I looked at the price that she was asking for that course. I contacted her about what she thought revenue streams ought to look like in the area of sales. And of course, she thought sales was a great place for doing that. I asked her what I thought it was going to take to be successful in it. And then I asked her if there were 2 or 3 people that I should speak with that had been through a course. And so I invested a lot of money, but I did some due diligence by asking questions to see if I invested in that, would I get a good return on my investment? Now, the challenge is, well, I do what needs to be taken. She can't control that. And so I don't expect that from her, but I expect some data that tells me what the ROI is. So it depends upon how big the purchase is. There's some apps out there. I've bought some stuff that we use in our business here. We use Lead Pages. We use Sixth Sense. We use plugins for WordPress. We buy a lot of different tools like that. And I'm always asking, if I do this, what will it do for me? And how does that relate to the money that I spend? And I'll give you a couple examples as well. I am a member of Michael Hyatt's Platform University. It's $30 a month. If I get one idea a year out of there, it's worth it. I'm a member of Social Media Marketing Guys, Michael Stelzner very new society, Social Media Marketing Society. It's $30 a month. I've already got 10 times more out of there than the $30 a month I've invested. So I look at the resource. I'm also a member of Authority that the copy bloggers guys put out there, and just their knowledge about sales pages and copywriting and stuff like that. They're all $30 a month. Maybe I need to go to $30 a month. That would be a better idea. Maybe I need to do that. Duh, I'm not really quick. But all of those things, I look at the resource they bring to me and say, would this be worth it or not? All right. So, Laura, I hope that makes sense. Do you have a specific example that if you want to toss it out there, something like or whatever, or you're struggling with something, or is this just in general? Okay. Claire said, no, I'm good. All right. So I asked the question wrong, Claire. I should ask, Claire, what's the one question you would have for me today? I need to do a better job of that. Okay. Good deal, Laura. Awesome. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff. Okay, cool. Laura, if you have any questions specific to stuff like that, shoot me an email. Text me. If you guys don't have my phone number, I'm gonna give it to you. All right. If you want to write down my cell number and you want to text me, you're welcome to. This may be the worst thing I've ever done in my life, but I want to be here for you guys. We want to be more and more hands-on. 281-725-8367. 281-725-8367. All right, you guys are welcome to text me anytime you've got a question. Glad to help you any way I can. And I kind of learned that from Janine as well. She's very accessible and wants to help everybody. And so if I can help you, don't hesitate to text me anything along the lines of what we're doing here that might help you. Okay, Todd, I'm still waiting for your question, brother. All right, you typing? Is it that long? All right, Leslie, how about you? You have a question for us today? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Leslie, what's the one question you might have today about mindset or attitude? I'm just going to call on you guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, so Leslie's going to take the same route as Claire. I'm good today. You can't figure out one I haven't already addressed. That's very kind of you. I can't imagine that's true, but thank you. All right, guys. Well, like I said, one of the things we want to try to do is keep these to a short amount of time so people have a chance to digest them offline. The majority of the people do listen to these after the fact. So I'm going to give you just a quick 30 seconds. Anybody have a question you want to ask before we sign off today? If you have a question you're working on, just raise your hand and I'll wait for you. If not, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. If no hands go up, right now they're not. All right, guys. Well, let me kind of wrap this up, put a bow on it. And we've got a lot of new people, so I keep doing this every week. Those of you who are with us regularly, I'm sorry, but I want to make sure that new folks get this. So you're brand new with us. If you're new to sales, you're new to business development, whatever term you want to use out there. I know we got some people from PricewaterhouseCoopers. We can't even use the word sales. It's business development. If you're new in this, I want to give you some solid foundational stuff that you can build a great career and life on. If you're that person that's stuck in the middle, and I think that's the majority of folks that we have. You've been doing this for a while. You've got a business. You're in sales. You're doing a fairly good job, but you know there's more. You're stuck in the middle. You can see the gals at the top. You see the guys at the top, and you're going, I could do what they're doing. I don't know why I'm not doing that. There's typically one or two things that we can flip the switch on and get you there. That's really one of the things I love to do. If you're stuck in the middle, I want to get you out of there. I want you to walk into that next sales meeting or that next thing and have people go, man, how did you do that? That just jazzes me up. I love that kind of stuff. So if you've been at it for a while, you're stuck in the middle, we want to get you out of there. And if you're at the top and you're trying to figure out how to stay there, we want to help you do that. And not only just stay there, but we want to help you have the kind of year you've never had before. So that's really what we're all about. I really appreciate you guys again. Thank you so much. If you haven't checked out thesalesgladiators.com, I'd encourage you to go check that out. I think it's a great resource. There's good stuff in there, and I'd certainly love to have you as a member. Try it for 30 days. If that doesn't work, then you can move on. That's fine. I'm not going to have a problem with that. We want to be of service to you if we can, and if we're not the right fit for you, I'd be glad to push you to some people that could be. And then if you're not subscribing on iTunes to our podcast or on our website to our podcast, I would encourage you to check that out as well, because those are really fun. We've got a good one coming out today, and I think you'll enjoy that. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. There's our email contact information as well as our office number, but I just gave you my cell, and I'm going to put the cell on the slide there so that you'll have that in the future. Thanks, gang. Go have a great week out there. Do something significant this week to help continue to build the sales business, the career, the small business that you have the way you want it, and so you can have the life you want as well. I appreciate you guys. Have a great week out there. Take care.